I have 15 tips that every first-time cruiser needs to know. Hey there, hi there, ho there, friends. It's your old pal Michael with Travelmation Travel, and I've curated a list that every first-time cruiser needs to know. And here's that list. Let's start with number 1. Research your ship's itinerary. Before booking, research the cruise line, the ship, the type of amenities, the dining options, and the general location you'd like to go. Now, me as a travel agent, that's what I do on a daily basis. You come to me and you say, I would like to go to Alaska, and I would like this kind of luxury, and I would like to do these kind of activities. Bam! I'm able to key that into my computer and put together the perfect itinerary for you. But it helps if you come to us and have at least a general knowledge of where you want to go, destination, the type of activities and amenities you would like to have, and things like that. It'll make us curating the perfect itinerary for you much better. Tip number 2, book early. That's the key to savings in the cruise line industry. The earlier you book, the cheaper your rate is going to be, especially if you have a room that is harder to get, like an accessible room, or if you're looking for a certain balcony or a certain location on the ship. Book early. It's not weird to book a year in advance. That's how you're going to get your best deals. All right, tip number 3 is to pack smartly. You do not need as much clothes as you think you do, and you can always do laundry on board if you need to rewear some clothes. Now, some things you'll want to know is, depending on the ship you're going on, there may be some fancy nights. So you'll want to make sure that you have a dress, or a nice suit, or a nice jacket, or even just like a nice polo shirt and some pants. But not all ships have that. Some ships don't have formal nights, and that's awesome. That's what's okay. But make sure you double check with the cruise line to see what they have available. And some ships may even have theme nights, like red nights or pirate nights or stuff like that, white nights. So be prepared, and me as your travel agent will inform you of what that itinerary has for you. Also, don't forget essentials like sunscreen, medication. Don't bring extension cords. Like if you have a CPAP machine, you don't want to bring an extension cord. You can get an extension cord from your state attendant on board, or from guest services. They'll have that kind of stuff. And as we book your trip, I can walk you through some of those things that you can and cannot bring on your ship. Tip number 4, arrive to your departure port a day before your cruise departure. That way, in case there's any flight delays, you're covered. There's nothing worse than getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting that first flight out, having a delay, and then not being able to get on your ship. So always arrive a day before, spend the night in a hotel, sleep in, get a nice breakfast, and then go get on your ship. Tip number 5 is understand your beverage package. You may be considering purchasing the beverage package. Each cruise line has different options available. Some have a package that's fully included. Some have a 15 limit, and some don't have packages at all, and everything's a la carte. So once you decide on what cruise line you want to go on, me as your travel agent will help guide you through that. Sometimes the package is not worth it. Me and my wife, we may have 1-2 drinks, and it's cheaper for us just to pay cash for those. So I'll walk you through how and what is the best package for you as well. Tip number 6, check your phone plan. Before any cruise, you'll want to log on to your phone plan and make sure you turn on international if you're going to use your phone. And I think that most people will probably want to use their phone at least once or twice during the trip. But what you don't want is to show up to an island, turn your phone on thinking, oh, I'm on the island, I'll use the phone, and then get stuck with international charges. And those can be very expensive at times. I know for my Verizon plan, it's like $10 for the world plan, and you can turn it on and turn it off. So it's like $10 a month, and we turn that on there. Also consider adding the Wi-Fi bundle onto those ships. The internet on the ships is getting way better. They're starting to use Starlink, and it is just as fast as being at home sometimes. So once you choose your cruise line, you choose your ship, we can do the research and see exactly what they have for you and what's available. Tip number 7, plan your excursions wisely. Everyone wants to book the popular excursions, and 99.9% of the time I'll tell you to book the excursion on the cruise line. And there's lots of several reasons. 1, it is more expensive, but 2, it guarantees that if something happens during that excursion, if you're late getting back to the ship, you will be able to get on the ship. If you use a third party, which is generally cheaper, if something happens, accident, a tire pop, something like that, and you're late, even by just a couple minutes, that cruise ship will leave you in the port, and then you will be responsible for getting yourself to the next port or home. So once you decide on your itinerary, we'll sit down and talk about the excursions you like, and you don't need to do an excursion on every port. My family, we don't do excursions on the majority of the ports. We like to either get out and explore the port on our own, or stay on the ship and explore the ship and do different activities while the volume level of guests on board is definitely down. Tip number 8, consider getting travel insurance. Not just travel insurance in case something happens, but also medical travel insurance. As your travel advisor, I would love to be able to sit down and discuss the options that are available for this for you. Tip number 9, make your dining reservations early if you can. Some cruise lines allow you to book early. Some make you book when you get on board, and some of that depends on your status as well, and status is just how many times you've frequented that certain cruise line. But if you're able to make your your dining reservations early, please do so. It's going to guarantee you get what you want. If not, as soon as you get on the ship, they're going to have stations that you can go to and book your dining so that you get to go where you want. And everyone wants to go to Teppanyaki, everyone wants to go to that signature dining place. They're a lot of fun and definitely worth it. Some cruise lines have specialty dining that you can pre-book, and those are awesome for you as well. Tip number 10, familiarize yourself with the ship. You'll be able to download the app of your cruise line before your vacation and be able to scan what the ship looks like. If not, you can go to their websites. They're going to have layouts. Have a general idea. Know where the theater is. Know where the dining is. Know where the pools and stuff like that. Just so that when you get on, you're not completely lost. And don't get me wrong, your first time on any ship, you're going to be completely lost. Especially when you get on one of the big ships, it's going to be overwhelming. They're so big that you're just going to be like, oh. Go in knowing a little bit about it will help you along the way. Number 11, attend the muster drill. Now, every cruise line does this a little bit differently. Some you have to actually, at a certain time, go to a location so you know where your emergency location is. Some have you go on the app, take a picture. Some you just go check in, and then as soon as you're on the ship, you go check in. Know what your muster drill is. Talk to the crew members on board. They will explain it all to you, but you must do your muster drill on the first day, usually before 3 o'clock. And that it's very important so that you know if something does happen on board, you know what to do. Tip number 12 is really important. Budget for gratuities. Now, gratuities are not automatically included on your quote. Now, sometimes an agent will add them on, but they're very upfront in telling you, hey, this is all inclusive, including gratuities. I add it on a lot of times, and I put a big marker on it and says optional gratuities, but they're not optional. You really have to pay them. It is better to prepay them so that you know exactly what it is ahead of time. So as I'm booking your cruise, I will walk you through that process. You can always add additional gratuities. If there was a certain crew member that went above and beyond, you can always add on extra gratuities for them as well. Tip number 13, pack an extra bag for embarkation day. My wife will bring a small bag on that has bathing suits for the kids, sunscreen, or any of our major medications, just in case something happens to that bag. It could be a long day until you get your bag. Sometimes those bags, they go into the belly of the ship, and by the time they're brought up to your room, it could be 6, 7 o'clock. So you may want to have as much stuff you need for an emergency in that day bag. Chargers for your phones and tablets, things like that. Always important to have with you. Tip number 14 is really important. Know your onboard account. Make sure that as you're charging things to your room, you know where that number's at, so that come the end of your cruise, you're not getting sticker shock. Wow. Some of the cruise lines will charge your credit card every night. Some will leave you a bill every night so that you know where you're at. But on your app, for each cruise line, they'll tell you what your bill is at. And so just mind that, know where you're going so that you're not getting sticker shock and ruining a great vacation at the end with this bill that you maybe just forgot that you had tallied up. Tip number 15, and this is probably the most important tip that any first-time cruiser needs to know. Relax and enjoy. have fun. This is your vacation. Experience the activities, experience the entertainment. Try to have a stress-free and memorable vacation. These memories will last you forever. If you're ready to book your next cruise, reach out to me, Michael Salazar with Travelmation Travel. You can reach me at www.getouththere.travel. I would love to help you and your family get out there.